If you want to go vegan, go raw vegan, then going vegan would seem like a piece of cake. Eating whole food, plant-based meals is so much easier than going completely raw. It is already 2024 and vegan is the way to go. There is no doubt about it. All the information is out there. You just have to make the switch and you will be healthier and save millions of lives of innocent animals. Before I talk about why we should all go vegan, let me tell you a little bit of my story. First of all, I wanted to tell you that I wasn't always vegan. I didn't even know that there are people who never eat meat until I was in my 20s. When I was growing up, I spent almost every summer at my grandma's village, where she grew her own plants to eat and her animals to eat as well. One summer, my grandma got a baby pig. Now, this would probably sound like Charlotte's Web story, but hear me out. So, my grandma got a pig and I immediately got attached to that little pig. I named her Mashka, and she was very smart. She was very easily trained to sit, roll over, and other commands. She knew her name and understood when I was talking to her and what I was telling her. She was very intelligent and playful and a lot of fun. We did not have a dog, so Mashka was like a dog in a way. So I got really attached to her. She grew fast and within a year and a half, she got huge, but still same cute personality. In the fall, I went to school in the city, and then there was winter, and then it was Christmas, and all my relatives gathered together for a feast of all kinds of delicious dishes. And I'm usually curious what I eat, and I asked my mom and grandma, what kind of meat are we eating? And they both looked at each other, which made me suspicious even more, and they said, we prepared mashka. So can you imagine how furious I became? It was right then and there when I stopped eating pigs. I was so upset. I cried for days. I could not understand why we are doing this. Why did we have to eat our pet? She was my pet, or so I thought. I was so angry and upset. I, of course, stormed out from the table, and that was that. So I was only 12 years old when that happened. However, I still continued eating chickens and cows and everything else because I still didn't make a connection at that time. Until one day we got a rabbit, and I loved him so much. He was so cute, he was so playful, but he had the same destiny as my pig. And then I said to my mom and grandma, how could you do this? You can't keep on killing my pets for food. It's not fair. I love them and they deserve to live. But they explained me that we keep them for food and that we need to eat animal protein, and that's it. So it wasn't until when I was in my 20s that I started hearing about vegetarian people, but I didn't think much about it. I thought they were some weird hippies. Then, when I was about 28 years old, I met my husband, who loves pork, and I started eating pork again. It's like everything was erased from my memory about my pig Mashka. I was buying this already prepackaged pork product and not thinking about it where it was coming from, as it didn't look like an animal anymore. It was just a product. However, after my first son was born, I started following Russian Orthodox Lent, where you had to eliminate certain food items for a number of weeks per year. So I stopped eating land animals, but I continued eating seafood, eggs, and dairy. And I have noticed that it was very easy to do this. So the next Lent, I decided to eliminate fish, but I still left eggs and dairy. And it was not hard either. And the following Lent, I decided to stop eating all dairy, but I left eggs, and that was more challenging because I used to be a big coffee drinker and I liked milk with my coffee. I did not know much about plant milks yet at that time, so that was a challenge, and I kind of switched to teas for the time being. The next Lent, I decided to remove the eggs, which was actually the hardest thing for me to let go, because I used to eat eggs in every shape and form. You can imagine, in pastries and omelets, wherever you can put eggs, I good eggs. I used to really like eggs. So I was eating so much eggs that my doctor told me that I kind of have to cut down on that because my bad cholesterol was climbing up. So I went ahead and cut down the eggs completely, but that was only during Lent. After that, I went back to my normal diet. And if you looked at my diet, it wouldn't be considered the worst diet because I ate plenty of plants. But when I look at it right now, I barely had any fruits, and no wonder why I had such a big sweet tooth for ice creams and donuts and stuff like that. I didn't eat my fruit. So fast forward a few more years into this on and off Lent diet changing, and I decided to do a proper Lent, which meant to be the strictest form of all. I had to be raw half of the time, and the other time just regular vegan, whole food, plant-based, and no oil unless on a weekend, and not even chocolate, no caffeine, nothing like that. And I did it. I did it for 7 weeks and without cheating, and I loved how I felt. I was losing tons of weight and I was feeling energized and light and happy. So I started looking into this raw vegan diet, and I found information about Butenka family, who were all raw at the time, and they had tons of information which helped me a lot, and I started researching this topic even further. I also came across a lot of information about animal welfare and how they are being tortured for life and then slaughtered for our 15-minute pleasure. And I finally started connecting all the dots and why I am even part of this. I feel so much better not eating the animals, both physically, my doctor confirmed my blood work improved, and also mentally. I wanted to stop contributing to this cruel money-making industry. I started looking at animals from a different view, and after watching a few quite shocking movies, for example, Earthlings, I went vegan in January 2015 and never looked back. I was still following my Lent by incorporating plenty of raw food into my diet. And when I was off Lent, I was eating mostly whole food, plant-based diet with some raw, but not huge amounts of raw. And I never missed the taste of meat because my mind shifted and I completely changed the way I view these animal products. They are poor, tortured, innocent creatures who didn't want to die and who I didn't need to eat for my health. It was all about pleasure. I now look at it as a horror, not pleasure. That was my story. Now let me tell you why I think people should seriously consider going vegan now. Most of us have pets, and they are either dogs or cats, and we would never, ever in our life would want to kick them or hurt them in any way. But we never connect those pieces of meat in the supermarket morgue that they belong to an animal once, who lived and felt pain and pleasure and love as well. We cannot say we love one and then we kill another. It's just completely wrong. We have been disconnected and kind of brainwashed on this topic that we need to eat meat and protein can only be found in meat, and we will be weak if we don't eat it or we will die. When in fact the opposite is true. We can get healthier and save so many innocent lives at the same time. By the way, watch Gary Yurovsky's speech, it is life-changing. Now, before I share some numbers with you, just imagine the world where compassion exists to all living beings. By choosing a vegan lifestyle, you are saying no to the suffering of animals raised for food. Now, did you know that in the United States alone, over 9 billion land animals are slaughtered for food every year? That's nearly 25 million animals per day. These beings have feelings, families, and a desire to live free, just like us. Each vegan saves nearly 200 animals a year from a life of confinement and suffering. So, your plate becomes a powerful tool for a change, promoting a world where there is love and kindness. Now let's talk about your health. Going vegan isn't just about what you are not eating, it's about getting a rainbow of nutrient-packed foods. Studies consistently show that a well-balanced vegan diet can reduce the risk of chronic diseases, boost energy levels, and contribute to overall well-being. Did you know that adopting a plant-based diet has been linked to low rates of heart disease, certain cancers, and type 2 diabetes? It's not just a diet, it's a transformation. It's a journey toward a healthier and more vibrant life. Now let's talk about our planet. Our beautiful Earth is facing unprecedented changes. The meat industry is a significant contributor to deforestation, water pollution, and greenhouse gas emissions. Here's a shocking fact. The livestock sector is responsible for more greenhouse gas emissions than the entire transportation sector combined. We cut down forests because we need more land to grow livestock. By the way, all that soy, it's not just for vegans to eat. All that soy and corn is being fed to livestock. So by going vegan, you're making a powerful choice to reduce your ecological footprint and promote a more sustainable future for our planet and future generations. So every time you choose a plant-based meal, you vote for a cleaner and greener Earth. So by now you're probably wondering, is veganism practical and even tasty? Absolutely. With an abundance of plant-based options, you can enjoy plenty of diverse and delicious meals. And did you know that plant-based diets have been endorsed by various health organizations, including American Dietetic Association and the British Dietetic Association, suitable for all life stages, including pregnancy and lactation. From savory stir-fries to delicious desserts, there is a vegan option for every taste. It's certainly a culinary adventure that opens up a whole world of different kind of flavors and all kinds of possibilities. Now, if you are wondering how can you even do it, you are going to feel so isolated, so lonely, but the vegan community is actually getting bigger and bigger, which is really good news. It is a global movement of like-minded individuals supporting each other on this journey. Whether you are seeking recipe ideas, tips for dining out, or just a friendly chat, the vegan community is here for you. And did you know that there are now over 1 million vegan posts on Instagram? So there are all kinds of events, local gatherings, or online forums, Facebook groups, YouTube videos. So join a vegan community and it will support you whenever you feel like you need support or whenever you feel like you've fallen off the bandwagon. So in the end, just remember that going vegan isn't just a diet, it's a compassionate and impactful choice. So let's choose a world where our plates are filled with love, our bodies are nourished, and our planet thrives. So what are you waiting for? Let's go vegan and bring more joy and compassion to this world. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!